All right, let's jump right in. For what feels like forever, we've all been obsessed with SEO, right? Getting Google to see us. But the whole game is changing right under our feet. Today, we're going to talk about this brand new world, AI search optimization, and a platform called AIO Automatic that says it's figured it all out.
So to really get why this is such a big deal, let's just start with one number. A really big number, 40%. That is the chunk of all searches that have already left traditional search engines.
You heard that right. 40% of searches are now happening inside AI engines like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, you name it. And that leads to a huge, kind of scary question for any brand or business out there. When your next customer asks an AI a question, can it find you, or are you totally invisible?
Now, what's really interesting here is that this isn't happening in a vacuum. The entire digital world is scrambling to adapt. I mean, we're seeing all these new AI-powered tools popping up for everything, from writing content to optimizing Shopify stores. This shift to AI isn't just a trend, it's a massive wave, and it's happening right now. And that brings us to the core problem AI Automatic was built to solve. Because in this new world of AI search, most brands are, pretty much by default, completely and utterly invisible. Let me show you why that is.
And this slide lays it out perfectly. With old school SEO, you had Google's crawlers, these little bots constantly searching the web, finding your new content, and indexing it. You were basically visible by default. But the large language models that power AI search, they just don't work that way. They're trained on a static pile of data. They're not actively crawling the web looking for your latest product. So your visibility, it's zero by default.
So the whole approach here is actually pretty simple. You can break it down into 3 steps. Step 1 is the problem we just talked about. These AIs are not going to find you on their own. Step 2 is the solution, a tool that makes sure they discover you. And that leads to step 3, the result you want. Your brand gets mentioned in AI answers, which drives traffic and brings you customers.
So, how do you do it? How do you go from being a ghost in the machine to actually being seen? Let's dig into the solution and see how this technology claims it can literally force these AI engines to pay attention to your brand.
Okay, the heart and soul of this platform is this thing called the AI Spider and Indexer. Now, I know forces is a really strong word, but the idea here is about actively teaching these models. And the key phrase to pay attention to is intelligent multi-turn conversations. This is way more than just submitting a sitemap and crossing your fingers.
So what does that actually look like? Well, think of it like this. Instead of just giving the AI a link, the Spider starts a conversation with it about your content. It guides it, prompts it with questions, and forces it to do a much deeper analysis. This whole process builds these strong connections between your website and the keywords you care about, and you can do it across more than a dozen of the biggest AI engines out there.
But getting indexed is really just the first step. This platform is actually a full suite of tools built for this new world of what people are calling ASO, AI Search Optimization. Let's take a look at the other pieces of the toolkit.
First up is the AI Research Agent. And this thing tackles a huge, huge challenge. How do you even know what questions people are asking AI about your industry in the first place?
And this is so important. Most tools let you track keywords you already know. This thing uses AI to actually discover the queries that matter, the actual questions your potential customers are typing into ChatGPT right now. Then it runs those queries for you to show you exactly where you stand. It's about being proactive instead of just reactive.
Okay, so once you know what people are asking, the next logical step is creating content that gives them the best possible answer. To kind of close that loop, the platform has a built-in AI content generator.
And look, this isn't just about cranking out generic AI text. We've all seen that. The biggest problem with AI content is making it sound authentic, right? This tool goes right at that problem. It uses 7 different methods to analyze your existing content to make sure it preserves your unique brand voice. The result is that the articles and pages it helps you create actually sound like you wrote them. Of course, a massive amount of search and discovery happens on YouTube. It's its own search engine, a giant one. So to be truly visible, you have to have a video strategy. The platform handles this with a totally dedicated YouTube intelligence suite. And I mean, wow, this thing is deep. We're talking 7 different specialized tabs, all powered by Gemini. You can do everything from scanning your entire channel for new opportunities to optimizing a single video, finding keyword gaps against your competition, and even seeing what videos are being recommended next to yours. It's the whole shebang. So you've gotten the AI to index you. You've found the right questions to answer. You've created the content. But the last piece of the puzzle is, did it actually work? It all comes down to measurement.
And this is how you see the results. You can monitor your visibility across all those different AI engines. You can track how often you're being cited, what your share of voice is. But honestly, what I think is the coolest part is the sentiment analysis. It doesn't just tell you if you were mentioned. It tells you how you were mentioned. Was it positive, negative, neutral? That is incredibly valuable information.
Okay, all the theory and features are great, but what about the real world? What kind of impact is this actually having for real marketers? Let's look at the results.
This quote here from David Chen, it just cuts right to the heart of it. Invisible to cited in ChatGPT within 2 weeks. That's the kind of speed and tangible result that really defines this whole new world of optimization.
And then you've got this one from Sarah Martinez, which points out another huge benefit. Because they were forcing the AI to really analyze their content, they started showing up for questions they hadn't even thought about. So it's not just about ranking for what you know, it's about being discovered for things you don't.
So this all leaves us with a final, and honestly a pretty provocative thought. As more and more of the internet's discovery process moves into these conversational AIs, if your brand isn't actively working to be a part of that conversation, does it even really exist online for the next generation of users? That's a question every single one of us needs to be asking right now.